and welcome to Children's Corner at the First Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Ann Arbor. We are so happy to have you here with us. My name is Mark Van Kempen, and I serve as the Director for Spiritual Growth and Development. This episode on Children's Corner, we are going to be looking at a spiritual practice that you can do by yourself or with your family. A spiritual practice is something you do to help your mind, body, and spirit, like exercise. You can think of running as exercise for your body, puzzles as exercise for your mind, and a spiritual practice as exercise for your spirit. Some examples are yoga, meditation, or anything that makes you feel connected and whole. Before we begin our spiritual practice for today, we are going to sing a song, light our chalice, and look at some pictures of the bugs and plants that you found in your grass.
Hi everyone, it's Carrie again, and we're going to start off today with singing one of my favorite songs. It's called Sanctuary, and we'll sing it a few times through so you can get the hang of it and hopefully sing along yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Make us aware, our sanctuary, each made holy, loved right through, with thanksgiving, we are a living sanctuary, anew. With you this time, make us aware, we are a sanctuary, each made holy, loved right through, with thanksgiving, we are a living sanctuary, anew. Make us aware, we are a sanctuary, each made holy, loved right through, with thanksgiving, we are a living sanctuary, anew. One last time. Make us aware, we are a sanctuary, each made holy, loved right through, with thanksgiving, we are a living sanctuary,
We invite you to light a chalice today to connect you to us and to connect you to all other people who use chalice lighting as a helpful ritual. Feel free to pause the video if you want to go and find a chalice to light. As we light our chalice, we say together, we light this chalice for the light of truth. We light this chalice for the warmth of love. We light this chalice for the energy of action. We light this chalice for the harmony of peace. Now we're going to move into some community sharing. These are the pictures of all the plants and bugs that you all found in your grass. Thanks so much for sending them in.
Hey, it's Carrie again. Today we're going to explore the process of building an altar. Altars are an important part of many cultures and religions. An altar is used as a place to connect with ancestors, with the divine, with each other, and with ourselves. They are thought to be very special places, no matter how simple or elegant they are. In ancient Greece, families would have altars in their homes, the city would have an altar with a fire that they never let out, and temples dedicated to their gods. For the Day of the Dead, or El Dia de los Muertos, families put together elaborate altars, called ofrendas, to recognize and celebrate those who have died. The altars include candy skulls, marigolds, papel picado, and photos of deceased relatives. In Catholicism, the altar must be arranged and put together very specifically to honor Jesus and the Catholic Church. But you don't have to have any specific religious or cultural background to build an altar. All you need to do is set aside some space and gather some things that are meaningful to you, and you can start building your altar however you want. Today, Mark and I will show you how we build our altars and how to build your own.
I'm going to be building a temporary altar. One you make, then take down when complete. It helps to take pictures of your altar to remember it. First, I'm going to lay down a blanket that my son loved when he was a baby. I love games, especially board games. So I'm adding a bowl of ghost stones and some brightly colored dice to represent that part of me. Next are some books that have meaning to me. I really like math, and fractals are a cool part of math. I also like fantasy and science fiction books, so I'm including two of my favorite of those genres. I worked as a teacher for many years, and I'm including a t-shirt from the Wayne State Math Corps, a place where I taught. Service is also important to me, so I'm including two things that I got when I was working on the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. The Native Americans who live there are called the Lakota, and it's important to me that they live well and are treated fairly. Lastly, I'm adding a stuffed frog my son found at a thrift store. He has loved it for a long time, and it represents my family's love and support.
To begin my altar building, I find a spot that I can set up my altar where it won't be disturbed by anyone else in my family, including my pets. For this altar, I chose a little table. Some other places are on a desk or dresser, or on a shelf or windowsill. Make sure to discuss with your family where you want to build your altar. The first thing I do when building an altar is set down a cloth to put everything on. Sometimes, if I don't have a cloth available, I'll just make sure to wipe down the space ahead of time. Next, I put down my Bible. I like to have easy access to it if I want to read some of it, so I put it on one side so I don't disrupt my altar when I reach for it. I also put a few pens next to it because an important practice for me is writing and reflecting on what I read. These crystals are a really meaningful part of my altar. Whenever I feel anxious or stressed, I pick one up and hold it and try to imagine the power flowing from the crystal into me. One of my favorite things to add to my altar are my favorite books. If you watched the service on Sunday, I talk more about becoming there. If you have a favorite book, that can be a great thing to put on your altar. One of the last things I place on my altar are these chalice symbols. I have necklaces I got from youth conferences I went to, and some earrings that a friend made. They remind me of my Unitarian Universalist faith and of my friends. And finally, I put a real chalice on my altar. I light it on Sunday mornings, while I'm watching church, and whenever I need a little more light in my life. And here's my finished altar.
The spiritual practice of building an altar can help you in different ways. It can be a place where you go and look at if you feel sad or upset. It can be something that reminds you of the important things in your life. Or it could be something that you share with friends and family so they could get to know a little bit more about you. We hope that you have some time to build an altar for you, either by yourself or with your family. And we would really love it if you could take a picture and share it with us. And even if you wanted to include some words about why you chose each item in your altar. You can send all of that to sgd@uuaa.org. If you need more information, you can check out the video description on YouTube.
Thank you so much for joining us for yet another Children's Corner. It was so lovely to build these altars with you all, and I can't wait to see what the altars that you build look like. So please send them in. And until we get to see each other again, let's sing our closing song, Where You Go, all together.